Good morning, everyone. It is a great day to be on the AT. I say that for two reasons. One, I genuinely do believe that there is so much good on the AT that every day really has the potential to be a great day. And two, mental attitude is so important on this long hike. You know, it is a physically challenging hike. Make no mistake about it. The terrain can be tough. Your body is asked to continue to perform over and over again. But the mental attitude is so vital to daily success and ultimately long-term success. I woke this morning and I can say probably for a brief period, I may have had the first day or first morning, if you will, where I didn't feel like hiking today. And I contemplated that for a bit before I got up and started my day. And New York has been particularly strenuous, and it was a very hot day yesterday, and it was by far the most buggy day that I've had on the AT so far, with gnats and mosquitoes and whatnot. And all of those things were coming back to me, and I thought about yesterday and how tired I was at the end of the day. And for a brief moment, I didn't feel like hiking. And as I got up and started sluggishly moving, all I could think about after that was just the great potential for so much positive to come out of the day. I first looked up at the sky, beautiful blue sky, some nice puffy clouds, early rays of sunshine coming through the trees, listened to the birds, and then I looked at the profile of today's hike, and I saw hills, climbs and descents. But what I also saw was opportunity for beautiful views of things that I have not seen or encountered. And I looked at where the water sources were going to be, and I thought of all of the opportunities for cold, clear, cool water that's going to cool me throughout the day. And, you know, the more I thought about it, the more I became rejuvenated, and my energy started coming into me, and now I'm absolutely excited for the day. And so I wanted to share that mental attitude is very powerful. I could have focused on those negative thoughts of my fatigue and the discomfort of the heat and the discomfort of bugs and walking through spider webs and all of those things. But when you think about it from a different perspective, focus on the positive, your perspective can change. And now you just feel rejuvenated, refueled, and ready to go. So, as for today is going to be a 19.8-mile day to the Morgan Stewart shelter. There's a series of shelters. In fact, the next 3 shelters, the far out comments list that there's either no water or there's a water pump, but it's not working. And so I will have to make sure that I stop just prior to the shelter, collect water, and carry it in. Other than that, it is going to be a hot day. The hottest so far. Our forecast is saying it's going to be around 92 today. I can already feel the humidity, and so I'm going to have to make sure I stay hydrated as I move along the day. But I also saw what appear to be potential views coming up, so we'll see those and share those and experience them as they come up. All right, enough of me rambling. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Let's get the day started. Downhill. We're going to do this probably at least 12 to 15 times today. First view of the day. 5.5 miles in. We're looking down at Canopus Lake. It has a beach, and it's got a little trail off the AT, about a half mile. There's a shelter down there for thru-hikers. So if you're willing to walk a half mile off trail for a shelter and a half mile back the next day, it's a good stop. It's got a water spigot, a restroom facility, but there's also a vending concession area that I believe is open from 10 to 4. If you make it in time, you can have some access to food. I, however, am moving on. So we are about 6.25 miles into the day, and it's about as I had predicted. Lots of ups and downs, steep but short duration, mostly covered in rocks. But right now we're getting ready to climb Shenandoah Mountain. Now it is no secret that the Shenandoah Mountains in Virginia have been one of my favorite sections of the AT. This Shenandoah Mountain in New York is supposed to have a view at the top. We'll see if it lives up to its namesake. Not bad. Definitely not Shenandoah, Virginia quality. But for New York, I'll take it. So, yes, this is graffiti. But this is actually a famous bit of graffiti up here in memory of 9/11. We're going to call this a monument. Oh, look at those views. Look at those views. AT comes right alongside Ralph's Peak Hiker's cabin. It's a fully enclosed shelter. It's this one's unique because it's a concrete cinder block, but it has a water pump on the side. It's got a nice little grassy area, and it's got a covered deck in the back. What I really like. Mileage check, where are we? 1,424.9 miles complete. 760.4 miles to go. So we just came out onto the intersection of the AT and New York Route 52. And we're 15 miles into the day, and about a quarter mile, 0.2 south of the AT, there is the Mountaintop Deli and Danny's Pizzeria. And so I would walk just about anywhere right now for something cold to drink and a slice of pizza. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm about 4 miles short of the shelter. It's early in the day, so I've got plenty of time, and it is hot, and I could use something cool. So that was definitely worth the 0.2 sidewalk off of the trail. I first went into Corrado's. So Danny's Pizzeria is no more. They have a new owner, new name, Corrado's Pizza. Got 2 slices, 3 soft drinks. Went to the Mountaintop Grocery, which is also a deli, and got an ice cream, and actually finished off the remaining 2 items that I still needed for my resupply. So it was definitely worth the stop. The businesses actually allow camping behind the building. They have a nice large grassy area, and they have power hookups for recharging battery stations and things like that. And they have a water spigot outside. So I was able to actually get all of the water resupply that I needed for the next 4 miles on the trail, and actually considered for a moment tenting there tonight, because I've only got 4 more miles to the shelter, and then I'm doing 20 miles the next day. And I thought, wow, I could just stay the night there and hike 25 miles the next day and still be on track. But it wasn't part of the plan, and I fell back to my question that I always ask myself when it comes time to, make a decision or choose between 2 options. And that is, will it help me get to Mount Katahdin? And the answer was no. It was purely going to be a matter of convenience, and when you start doing that, you get caught in the vortex, and next thing you know, you start losing sight of the end goal. So here I am, headed back to the trail, as it should be, and I'll be back on the AT in about another 0.1 miles. So I don't want to jinx it, but for the last 3 miles since I left the pizza place, this has been the condition of the trail. A couple of rocks here and there, but otherwise smooth. And again, not wanting to jinx it, this is the first time in the longest stretch that I've experienced this kind of terrain in New York. Everybody, we are almost to the Morgan Stewart shelter. About 0.2 miles left. It's gonna be our last view of the day. Pretty good view. If you look off in the distance, you can just make out the observation tower for Bear Mountain, where we were yesterday. We've covered quite a bit of ground. It was a good day today. Well, everybody, so far the trail has turned quite smooth, and because I'm a glass half full kind of person and I'm making such good progress in this last portion of the day, I've decided to push on ahead. So the Telephone Pioneers shelter is another 7.8 miles. It is 4 o'clock. And based on the progress that I'm making, I can make it there at a little bit after 7 o'clock, which still gives me time to set up my tent and everything and have dinner before dark. So that's what we're gonna do. We're pushing on ahead, and I'm looking forward to the progress. Boy, if the trail had been like this earlier, I'd be out of New York by now. So through the trees, you can make out what is called Nuclear Lake. Nuclear Lake gets its name because there used to be a plutonium facility located on it. And in 1972, there was a chemical explosion at the plutonium facility. And the water was tested and deemed safe to drink. However, I would not recommend drinking it. Everybody, we are 0.4 away from Telephone Pioneer Shelter. And we are rewarded with this terrific view. It was a good day. A hot day, but a good day nonetheless. Well, everybody, it certainly was a terrific day. And really, today's story is a story of two parts of the day. Part one being the roller coaster that has been New York, the rocky ups and downs of steep but short duration that made progress slow. And then after the break where I got to enjoy some pizza and some cold beverages, it was very smooth trail. And I'm glad for it because it enabled me to push further than expected. All in all, today is going to be a 27.5 mile day on this, the hottest and buggiest day of the AT yet. I got up to 88 degrees today. Not sure what the humidity was, and the insects were certainly out in force. Tomorrow might be the first day of my bug net. And anyway, I'm about to arrive at the Telephone Pioneer Shelter. Once I do, I'm going to set up camp, eat, and get ready for bed. So I'm going to sign off here, everyone. I appreciate you being with me today, and I look forward to sharing tomorrow's journey. Thank you, everyone.